and welcome back to my channel. It's Charlotte, your friend. So I'm just gonna proceed with the story of how I met my husband, who was never the type of guy that I would marry. So this is type 2 of the story. If it's the first time coming, thank you for coming. This is for you. Please watch part 1 as well. Some of the questions will be answered there. And also, if you are a Charlotte's friend, you are mostly welcome. Kindly continue watching and also ring a bell so that each time when I notify you get something. So you will realize, maybe you've noticed that I don't have my finger. No, I don't have marital problems. I just gained so much weight that, will you see this? The ring was hitting me. So anyway, guys, I'm not gonna waste so much time. Let's get to it. So I had explained to you guys that my husband, okay, I'm just gonna say that guy for now because that was not my husband. That time it was that guy. Okay, I met him up at Chicken Licken, and then we went to the flat. He bought 2. I had explained to you guys how he looked, his dress code, and the only thing that I forgot to mention from his look is that he had this bangle, you know, those ancestral bronze bangles. So he was wearing one, which made the turn off even like we done cut. Okay, fine. We went to the garden after buying Stony, and we took straws. So I didn't want to risk going upstairs to fetch tumblers simply because people would see me with him, and girl, I wasn't gonna be seen with that guy. Honestly, like, no. Fine. We spent the day in the garden next to the pool, and you know, the funny thing about him is that he was focused on the drawing. Remember, the main reason he came was to teach me how to draw. So he really focused on the drawing part and was teaching me how to hold a pencil, and he was doing everything correct. I remember at some point it was windy and all the work that we're doing just flew, and he went there to pick up. I wanted to go assist pick those things up. He went, like, no, relax, I'll go. And the only gesture that he made, which made me realize that, okay, he's not only here for the drawing, because he was so focused. I don't remember us talking about relationships. I don't remember him talking about how many kids do you have. Like, you understand, he didn't get to let's get to know you part. He was only focused on what he was there for, of which was to teach me how to draw. And honestly, I was not interested. I had lost interest the minute I saw him, and with that book, I'm like, so you say you're coming to teach me how to draw? You literally coming to teach me how to draw with all those things? Like, guys, ladies have this thing. I don't know if it's only me, but even if someone doesn't want you, at least the comfort of you having to say no or to play along, you understand? So I needed that. I expected that from him, that at least say something, then I reject you, then we move on. He didn't budge him. Right, at the end of that day, we spent so many hours drawing. Hey, drinking others. I can't drink wine, sorry. Midlife crisis. You'll understand later. So, oh shucks, where was I? We spent the day, and then the conversations were all around the drawing and blah blah stuff. Okay, cool. You know what? At the end of that day, we left. I was taking him back to the taxi rank. I accompanied him, and then on his way, he's like, what would you like to eat? How much do you need? Do you need to eat something? I'm like, no, man, I'm okay. But maybe I can buy scopo there. I used to stay in CBD. So CBD, there used to be some tables where they sell nyamentloko and scopo. And then I'm like, I just need money for scopo. I think it's 30 rands. It's like, okay, I think it took out 200 and something. And then it gave me the money. It's like, you'll get yourself something. Since we didn't eat, we were so busy the whole day. Yeah, how productive was your day? I'm like, yeah, it was good. Hey, thank you for teaching me how to draw and all that. It's like, okay, it's a pleasure. And then the guy left. Okay, he made a gesture of holding, I don't know if I mentioned this, he made a gesture while we were doing the drawing thing. He just held my hand and then he looked at it, like, you know, he held my hand and he looked at it. I found it a bit creepy, man. It was weird, but he didn't say anything after that. He just let it go. Cool. He went home. Now we continued chatting. Oh, okay, I decided that I told my my roommate at that time, I'm like, Keke, the reason why I couldn't sign you in is because this guy was this and this and that, and I couldn't risk being seen with him. Like, he was not at a level where I can bring him at my apartment. Nah, it wasn't gonna happen. She's like, okay. So I'm like, so what's the way forward? Because this guy now has started texting. He's asking me, how was your day? How everything was? When can we meet again? I need to teach you to draw again. I'm like, how do I get I want to cut relations with this guy. I don't want him to ever call me again. So what can I do? Ukeke was like, man, that's what is, why don't you block him? I'm like, no, man, I don't want him to be blocked. And the previous, at that time, I think I was seeing someone actually. So, you know, my passed on. So I had a boyfriend who passed on then. Then after that boyfriend, I got a rebound. So I was dating this other guy, but it was such a long distance thing and it was not even serious. Like, there was no future there. It was just a matter of, let's push this tight thing, you understand? Now, this guy now, he started following me up, and then we started talking about his personal life. I'm like, huh? He told me where he works. He was working at ShopRite at the time. He disclosed the salary. He started asking me to help him how to budget, how to plan things around. He has been needing someone, an element that will help him become a better person. He's not proposing love, you understand? Like, I'm used to those guys who will come to you and say, you know what, let's date. And I'm like, you know what, I don't want you, not my type. So he didn't give me that platform to be free to tell him exactly how I feel about him. He started being personal, deep about himself on the phone, deep about himself. And that made me kind of fall in love with him, but I was still hesitant, you understand? Now I told Keke that, Keke, this thing is becoming too much now and I don't know what to do. Let's get a plan. What can I do to turn this guy off? Because firstly, it's becoming so deep that we are not in a relationship, but he's telling me everything. I've never had such a guy friend. Okay, I used to have a guy friend, Sydney, but the conversations around were not that, like, he was having a wife husband kind of conversation and I wasn't there, like, dude, you boring me. But I got to know him. As much as I didn't want to be deep, but me knowing that, like, I started to know the kind of a guy he was. And I realized that this guy is such a good guy. Guys, I was used to bad boys. Hey, bad boys are my life. Where? Like, a good guy was so boring. I didn't want someone good. Too good. You are too good for me. I want someone who show me flame. Deal with me. Not someone who will not even hold me, like, you understand? So I didn't want that one soft. I wanted hardcore. You know, heartbreakers. I used to play that game. Bring me a heartbreaker. Let's roll. Don't bring me such a good guy. Like, I've rejected so many good guys because I felt like they're too good for me and you just won't manage. So we came with a plan with Ukeke. I remember we just chilled at night and we're discussing this. I said to her, I think I have a plan because this guy is becoming too deep and he would even buy me airtime. You understand, when you were unemployed and you were 22, our airtime was such it was a deep thing. Like, men used to invest through airtime as well. So I'm like to her, like, this guy, if I just stop talking to him, what if he's a serial killer or something? Why is this guy doing this to me? Let's decide to just cut things off. I have a plan. So I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell this guy that I'm actually pregnant, and I just found out that I'm pregnant with my ex, and my ex wants to marry me so that we can be done. Like, there's no comeback for that, you understand? Called that guy, acted like I'm crying. I just found out that I'm pregnant and with my ex, and I told my ex wants to marry me. So I don't think you and I will still continue talking. That was November, and I was supposed to go home. I'm like, my ex is at home, so when I go home, we'll be starting with the whole arrangement. You know, his response shocked me because I was expecting him to be like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. It's fine then. It means that we're not going to do, because he had started talking about love at that time. He started putting me in his plans, in his future plans, that I want this kind of a marriage, hey, blah, blah. We would have daily topics like, why do people cheat? And in a way, I was kind of becoming too connected. You know what? The guys would have a good way of bringing you close. I mean, the conversations you have, what I noticed that women fall in love with what they're being told and men fall in love with what they are seeing. So it was that kind of thing that was already going on between the two of us. Now, I told him the story, I broke the news. It's like, you know what? It's okay. Go home and have a baby. I will still be available. Just let me know if you are going ahead with the marriage, because I wouldn't date someone who is married. Now, if you decide to go ahead with the marriage, that's when I will give up. But if you decide that you just want to raise the baby together with your boyfriend, then I will always wait for you. I'm like, dude, pregnancy is 9 months. So when you say you're gonna wait for me, what do you mean? Is that even possible? What about you, your life? It's like, no, I was single for 2 years before I even met you. I don't have a problem with that. 2 years? No, what have you been doing? I was like, red flag. What is wrong with this guy? Which guy becomes single for 2 years? Never. I was like, impossible. That's a red flag on its own. You can't tell me like, hello, men are busy. All right, cool. I told him that, and then a week went by, and then he gave me space. He was not communicating. I started missing him, guys. You know, when you used to someone bothering you, I started missing the guy. Like, man, where is this guy? Like, why is he not saying anything? Then I texted him. I'm like, hi. My hi meant the world to him, to my surprise. He was so happy that I texted him. He's like, how are you doing? I've been so scared to even talk to you. What if your ex is abusive and he picks our conversation and all that? But I've been missing you. Hey, you know what hit me was that he actually said, I've been trying to heal. I went to sleep, to lay by the grass during lunch. And I was just thinking about, why is it that it seems like whatever I touch with my hands just doesn't work out. Whatever I want doesn't work out. So losing you was just an example of, I wanted something so very solid from you, but it never worked out. So all I wanted was a wife from you. I don't want to date. I don't want a girlfriend. I want a wife. If you can't be a wife to me, then I'm not going to have you. I can't keep you. If you are in approving my request, it has to be a wife. I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want to date. I don't want these games. I just want someone to settle. We had the conversation and my heart was so happy. Now my then guy was still sending me money and airtime. That one used to bring me so much money. And then the airtime that I would buy, I would be phoning this one now. With the airtime, phoning this one. With the money that he sends me, I buy airtime, I phone this one. So I would even forget to say thank you to the guy for sending me airtime and stuff. You understand? That was how hooked up I was with our conversations. So there's only one thing I liked from my husband now. I liked his honesty and his transparency. The looks and everything I didn't like. I was so uncomfortable with the way he dressed. And the fact that he didn't shave his hair. He didn't make effort when we had our first date. So those are the things that actually turned me off. And I asked him about that moringa, the bronze thing. I'm like, yo, do you really like this? What is this for? He's like, no, my grandmother used to do these things. She used to sell them. So I just have it for that record. But if you don't like it, we can always remove it. I'm like, yeah, please. He did. And in my mind, I thought he was those ancestral guys. It's just a matter of him liking something that he doesn't even see something is wrong with it. So spiritually, I noticed that we connect. because I would tell him that I'm going to church, and sometimes my phone would be off for a long time and he'll be calling me, hi, is your phone okay, whatever. Then I went back to a friend, roommate. When guy, we're talking again. And this time I think I'm hooked. Like, I don't know. I want, like, 50% of me wanted so much to be close to that guy. 50% of me had pride. I was like, I can't date this guy. It's not my type. I still had a type, guys. I had my type. So, like, I'm so confused. I don't know. Like, I'll even sleep and dream about it. And the fact that he told me he wants marriage, in my mind, I'm not ready to get out of the game. Man, I'm still young, 22. I can't be out of the game yet. I still have to live my life. I need to, to explore, do things. So if he's saying he's proposing marriage, I don't know. Then we went back to the drawing board with Miguel. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to visit this guy and apologize. I went to visit him. I told him I'm coming to visit. Like, it's cool. This shouldn't be more than 20 minutes, Jim. I went to visit him. And when I got there, my plan was I want to apologize to him for leading him on and making him believe that we can actually be an item of or some sort. Then after that, I'm going to close the chapter and go home, because I think I was going home in 2 weeks' time. So I went to his place in Tembisa. That was my first time in Tembisa. Yo, the hospitality I received. Yo. Guys, I knew this guy's salary, ne? I knew his pay slip. He was so transparent with everything. And it didn't meet the standard that I wanted. He didn't meet the criteria in any way. So me falling in love was just gonna be a trap. You understand? I was gonna trap myself, like, scam. Yes, he has dreams, he has goals, conversations are flowing, everything is fine. But that element, I have a man, like, hey, this is how my ideal man is. Okay, cool, fine. I went there and then he treated me so well. That afternoon, he was such a gentleman thing. Everything he was doing by the law. Like, But what I liked about him, that's the second thing. I like transparency and honesty. Now, this other third thing actually is that he's not scared to touch me. You understand? He appears to be a pastor mfundisi, like he's a good guy, and I don't like good guys. And he was not afraid to touch me. So he would touch me in the way that I thought maybe he would be uncomfortable to. So I already judged the sexual. I already judged him sexually, that because he's a good guy, then he falls under this category. So I realized that he has bad boy tactics when it comes to that. I'm like, interesting. Let's see how this goes. And then we spent the day together. He didn't do stuff. I went home, and then he took me to the rank. He gave me money. We hugged. I had feelings for him. I went back home, and then I told Keke, friend, this is what happened. And the guy wanted me to sleep over. And because I'm not cheap, I didn't want to sleep over, because it felt like a first date again. And I couldn't tell him why I went all the way there to him. So I couldn't say it. Like, it's like cat shock. Like, I couldn't say what I was there for, because I was there to apologize so that I can move on. I was going home after just a few weeks, a week or two. So when I got home, no, man, I was leaving in 3 days. It was Tuesday when I met him, so I was leaving on Friday, going home, packing all my things from varsity, going home. My nose is blocked, hey. I told my guy, sorry. I told the friend that I'm going home, and this guy, we are now falling in love, and I can't do long distance relationship anymore. Hey, I didn't tell him. I had already let go of other guy, because he noticed that I don't have his time anymore, and money was just not enough for me. So I had cut ties with him. I never told him that it's over, but he could read the signs. He's an adult. And then that was it. I went home. When I was at home, he was calling every day, Mugai. This one now, calling every day, asking me, Venda is so hot. I'm unemployed, guys, and this guy would just send me money randomly. Go buy ice cream, go spoil yourself. And then I was doing my driver's license at the time. Oh shucks, 20 minutes. I was doing driver's license at the time, and he was very supportive, telling me, do this, let's pray about this, you're gonna come back with this. And then like all the plans were going accordingly. Like he would lead me. I got comfort from that. And yeah, that's how I met my husband, I guess. So that whole thing, I started adjusting to the life of being with someone like that. And then obviously I had to change him every here and there to fix what I didn't like from him, like dress code. I remember that he sent me money this other time. Okay, I found I got a job. The time I got a job, I came to training and I came straight to him. I didn't have anyone else to come to here in Gauteng. So he gave me money. I remember I was employed at ShopRite warehouse. He gave me money to go buy him some clothes in Joburg. I went to buy him clothes, and then I bought my style. So he was so easy to adjust, and it didn't become such a big deal. So he surely eventually became someone, or yeah, he painted, I painted him to be my guy that I prefer, my type. You understand? So that's how I met my husband. Let's not make this any longer, guys. I feel so bad that this video even went over 21 minutes and it's just a part 2. So that's how we met on a nutshell. And thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll meet you again when I upload again. Mwah, mwah, mwah.